Hello, hello, most beautiful stars. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday night, everybody. It's been a moment since I've been with you live. Yes, yes, yes. And I saw that Seeker came in. Good to see you, Shelly. Man, I've been thinking about calling you, and I haven't even had an opportunity to. Ooh, a card jumped out for us. Okay, good. I have not had an opportunity to do anything other than all the stuff that I was doing. um, if you're new to Stars of Morning Light, Hangout with Courtney Time is an opportunity to ask me any questions, personal, metaphysical, spiritual, random. I don't know if I can answer it. I will. And it's the one time that people kind of get to hang out with me just as who I am, especially because I normally take a edible of some sort before I come here. I am not usually ever, well, I do this twice a month, so twice a month I take an edible. How about that? So good to see everybody coming in. Chloe, my dear, good to see you, sweetheart. Chloe, definitely, sweetie, go pass out. I was not expecting to see you. Um, I am I am very proud and I loved and was honored to witness you say, "Hey guys, I'm not going to be able to be in every chat." Cuz girl, how you would get around in chats, I was like, "How is this female doing that?" Like I couldn't even comprehend it. And so tiredness, yes, we are all feeling it. Eat beautiful, sleep beautiful. You deserve. Yes, but I do appreciate you popping in and saying hello. And I see Lori came in. Good to see you, my dear. Lori has a new cat, everybody. Sorry, Lori, I had to spill the great news. Such a cute cat. Yeah. Yeah, so Chloe, sweet, I know what it's like to get a business going. Oh, guys, it's saying it just said my connection was a bit unstable. So I do believe I am still here. Let me know in chat if things get a little wonky. Oh, Shelly's come right out the chute with some questions. Good job, Shelly. I'll put the card that flew out on us to the side. All right, so hi. So Shelly asks, so what do you think, Court, about the pole shift and the effects of what it could do, good and bad? Hmm. Well, what I do know is that I'm going to be starting we're starting a new book with Edgar Casey. So do I have it in front of me? Yes, I do. So what I do know is, please, everybody, I'm going to get to your question, Shelly, but I really want to say, hey, the Sun series is actually about the pole shift and what's going on. But it's to help people build more of a relationship with the sun, opposed to developing more fear about the sun as time moves forward. So I'm already doing that on Fridays. We are going to start this with our Edgar Casey series: historical, economical, political, and global. Earth changes. We're going to get in here. We're going to get into the Millennium Book. We're going to get into things that Edgar would say about what's happening globally, what's happening with this pole shift, what's going on. And I'm sure at different times I will speak about it just on my own right. What I do want to point out too, because man, I almost did a short about this past week, is I remember in my January 2025 Akashic messages, like yearly message, I think there were 2 videos of me breaking down the year message. And I know in that I spoke about when shit goes down, it's gonna happen in your own backyard. Like, help those who are in your own backyard. Because what I do know is everyone will be affected at some point. And what do I mean by your own backyard? I, gave a big distance last time, but the more we go into the future, anything that's like an hour, 2-hour drive from you, that's your own backyard. And because there's not going to be a spot that's not touched by something across this beautiful globe. So I know I talked about that in January. I know for a fact I did because I've been trying to prep people for all to come for like 2 or 3 years now. I know you guys saw what happened in Chattanooga, Tennessee this past Tuesday. Why I'm also very tired, um, Chloe. I know it appeared to be very similar because I actually learned from Chloe what happened in Texas like a month ago with those floods. It seemed very similar to that. And we got between like 6 and 7 inches in of rain in they'll say like an evening, guys. Really, it was 3 hours, maybe. I mean, it was we had never seen anything like that. Uh, so is that necessarily the pole shift? Shelley asked, "What do I know about it, and what's gonna, is anything good or bad? Like what are we thinking here?" What I do know is that the climate changes would be happening anyways because of the pole shift. I mean, it would be happening anyways. What I also know, and as the rest of you know, because it was released in 2025, you can read it. I do believe that there are those who understand this and use the weather and what would already be present to make it more unfortunate, right? That is what I do believe. Um, and maybe not every time, but y'all, what came through on Tuesday? Hmm. So the Earth is going to be shifting. I think there's also a playlist that I did about this as well. We are already in the shift. We're already in the shift, and there's great material out there you can look into. We're already in the shift. What we can do as humans to help the process of the shift, because this would be happening anyways, folks. It'd be happening anyways. It'd be happening just because of the time period that we live in. It'd be happening. Before I continue, I want to say hello to people in chat and mess with my lighting again. I'm always messing with my lighting. You want to know why? It's because every time I turn them off and then turn them back on, there we go, they go to whatever the shade that I don't like. And then I'm not thinking about that because why is it changing but on its own? And then I gotta mess with it while I'm here with you. I don't mind. Lighting, it's all the ambiance. Before I continue about the pole shift, I want to say hello to Happy Hippie. Good evening, Miss Robin. Good to see you, my dear. Oh, Shelly, thank you. I think she was talking about the Edgar Casey book. Yeah, we're starting this because we got through the reincarnation book. We're starting this. Yes, yes. Adore that man. So many of us know that the poles have already been shifting. And what's interesting is what I've noticed is that, they'll say words like global warming. And because the word warm is attached to that, everybody just associates it with it's going to get hot, like really hot. And that's not really how we're going to be affected. Like it is going to get colder. It is because it's not just the ice cap is melting, it's moving, like, it's everything's gotta shift, right? So if the southern that we're used to being, with the South, everything's shifting. So are they gonna melt? Yeah. Are we gonna have a whole lot more water? Yes. Yay. Good. We gotta clean the water we have, but thank goodness we'll have more. With that shift though, what we can do is we can truly heal ourselves. When people talk about vibes up, that is really more heal so you can sustain a higher conscious level, right? Well, with sustaining that higher conscious level, that is also affecting and helping what the earth is going through. That's why Edgar would also be talking about the shift in consciousness. The Mayan calendar talked about this. I studied the Mayan calendar when I was 12 years old. It was that was one of the most, I can't think of the name of it right now. One of the most popular books about how it didn't mean that society, like civilization was going to end. It meant a massive shift in consciousness, right? When the Mayan calendar was going to end, which I do personally think they were off on a few days, but whatever. Um, the shift in consciousness within us is also in representation of the shift of the earth, right? My teacher would refer to it as like birthing a new living matrix, birthing something completely new, right? The earth is going to be shifting in great many ways, and everybody talks about this new earth. It's the same earth. It's the same, it's the same earth. It's the same earth. So, of course, there's got to be great shifts. If we are capable of healing ourselves and developing personal habits, thought patterns, behaviors that are more aligned with higher consciousness living, that actually helps her because that is what it means to have your vibes up. So when our vibrations are up, we automatically are helping her raise her vibrations through this birthing process, which is the pole shift. Very much the pole shift. Now, I will tell you, there are ancient cosmic stories about how I don't wanna use the word story because it's not the right that's not the right term, but it is a story, but it's more of a, secular prediction? Anyways, that's nuance. Guys, I gotta tell you real quick, I took a lot of edible. I took a lot of edible because I have to get sleep as well, Chloe, I truly do. So I took a lot of edible, and so normally, it takes 10, 20 minutes, and then finally you get the rant out of my mouth. Apparently it's here, folks. Apparently it's here, so buckle up, babies. Oh, let's have some fun together on this Saturday night. The earth changes the same as our consciousness will be changing. It is birthing of the new earth. Get your vibes up. I already explained how I have many videos about that. What that means, though, as far as like logistics and how it's going to affect us. And I'll get back to what I was previously saying. How it is going to like physically affect us is it's going to get colder. Like I live in North Georgia, the state of Georgia. I'm expecting our fall to start way earlier than it normally would. That I am expecting. I'm already, y'all. I pulled out all the summer plants. I pulled all of them except my beets. And next weekend, sometime this week, I'm gonna start my winter plants, the seeds. That's how much I'm trying to explain to folks. It's gonna actually get colder. And this is where you could get into Revelations where it says, yeah, no one will be able to distinguish the seasons. That word seasons, though, also know represents not just like the physical seasons, it's also the mental, the emotional, all the seasons of life. No one will be able to distinguish the seasons. So, but within that, for us, it is going to be colder. It is definitely going to be colder. I know why I moved to the south. I was not going to do what's up north. And by the time the north is like the south, because the big old flip has happened, um, I'm gonna be gone and then I'm gonna come back. So I won't know the difference, right? I won't know so much of the difference. I'll just be doing wherever I am, where I am. As far as okay, so Shelly, because this is all about everybody having fun in the chat and being present with one another. Oh, Shelly act okay, so Shelly asked if I ate cake or candy or both. I actually took something from Dr. Ben. Yeah, I need sleep, sleep. Dr. Ben has this stuff that wow. Wow. So, yours, I will probably have cake like tomorrow night or something to guarantee well-rounded sleep over the course of the whole weekend. So Shelly said, I think this is what's going to happen to Sister Court. The cold is coming. Yes, it is. Yes, we will be experiencing more cold. When we first moved down here, by 2 or 3 years in, I turned to Brad and I was like, because it just kept, that's when it was like in full effect. Wow, we're getting the pole shift. We're getting the pole shift, which is also associated with the rise of Sophia, by the way, which is that's a Gnostic thing. Um, the signs were coming definitely. So probably around 2017, 18. And I just told Brad, I said, you know what? We'll just teach these Southerners how to live in the cold then. Like it'll still not be as bad as where it would have been. So those of you that are in the north, it's gonna get cold. And we have a lot to go through before we're even at like the sudden drop. So I know I explained when I did a series about this, and it is in the playlist of the pole shift, like a somewhat of a sudden drop, because even geometry would teach you that, right? It's not that most of all this is so gradual that many people are just acknowledging it now because of the things they're witnessing, right? When those who might be more connected to the land, you can feel it every day, every moment. You can feel what she's going through. Um, but we have to acknowledge that. Sometimes when we think we're going through stuff, it might not be ours. It might be hers, the earth. I mean, how else is she going to call out to everybody? How else? Right? Remember in one of the Edgar videos, we talked about how, in one of his readings from the Akashic spoke about how the reason the Christ consciousness came into the earth, came into a being, body of form, was because the earth had cried out. She screamed, actually, so they screamed. She was crying out for a long time, and then she had to scream, and the universe responded. Well, for a very, very, very long time prior to that full scream she did, she had been crying out. And she'd been crying out to the ones that are supposed to be listening, which is us. Whew, sorry, I was fixing to go there, folks. I was fixing to go there on ya. Maybe I will later. We'll see. I see that Scotty Boy came in. Good to see you. Good to see you, my dear. Oh, Scotty. Scotty has a question. Give me 1 second to finish this up, and then Scotty, put it on in there, darling. I'll read it. Is Neil in here too? I saw Neil's name. Oh, good to see everybody. So, it's gonna get colder for us. Those are like the physical effects for the next while. On top of the hurricanes, the tornadoes, the flooding, I mean, that is a yeah, that's a part of all of this. That's a part of all this. That's why I said in January, you gotta be ready to help who's in your backyard because it's going to hit everywhere, somewhere at some point. Unfortunately, there are some areas that at least I know about in the States that are gonna get hit over and over and over again. And that is in preparation of birth, the actual birth. Kentucky, you're gonna get hit over and over. Blessed Kentucky, which is the most beautiful state, by the way, folks. It is a beautiful state, but they're gonna have more, you know, tornadoes, you know, storms, what have you. Unfortunately, I know Kentucky definitely. Definitely. There's some other spots, um, but that's more for when the full there's going to be like a drop, a sudden drop, and this will be we'll feel it. I mean, we'll really know. Um, that's a little ways off, so don't worry about that. What we do need to pay attention though to is the sunburst because to that cosmic story, right? Ancient story, and it does speak about how just everything is secular, right? That we just keep doing this over and over and over again, and they were talking about when a cycle ends and begins, right? Ending in the beginning. Within that story, they talk about how the earth actually kind of splits definitely into two, like two, think of like a cell. And when a baby's being formed, it'll split and it'll split, right? So in this story, the earth actually does split into two. So does the sun. So does the sun. And I want to remind people that in ancient stories that are further down the road from what I was just speaking about, they talked about two moons all the time. Some of them talked about two suns. This is some really old stuff, right? So here's what I do know. Is it gonna get colder? Yeah. What we probably should focus on for who we are living in this moment now, beautiful, awesome, keep it up, um, is more the sunbursts. And that's why I'm hoping that the Sun series is going to lead into people developing a healthier relationship with the sun, opposed to what the world has told us to do with sunscreen and stay away from the sun and the sun this and the sun that and the sun this. And the sun actually is, you know, causing so much of this heat up because of our chemicals. It's like it's so weird. The chemicals to cure the problem of the other chemicals. It's weird how they work here. But so we do need to pay attention to the sunburst. The sunburst. So, so Shelly, I know Shelly just hit out with the question when I know Shelly has watched the playlist. There is a playlist that is just entitled The Pole Shift. So you can definitely go there. Scotty, what did you want to ask me, dear? Um, where do babies come from? Shoot. Do you want the short version or the long? Hey, we can do it either way. You gotta have fun, guys. Where do babies come from? Oh, isn't it so cute when little kids are like, babies come from a mama's belly? Oh my God, it's so cute. Does a stork bringing them down? Oh my goodness. What is a sunburst? Oh, hi, Robin. A happy hippie. What is a sun? Robin knows what a sunburst is. She's like, well, we got to keep this conversation going. Um, it's exactly that. I am not going to be able to get into the science right now. Here's the thing about science and me. Um, I don't like listening to it. It annoys the shit out of me, to tell you the truth, because uh, there's a long way to go. There's a long way to go. So I try to keep it simple because why are we using all these fancy words? A sunburst is exactly what it sounds like. Pop, burst, pop, pop. In the cosmic predicted stories of a cycle ending and a cycle beginning. You could say universal. And guys, I did want to go back. I wanted to tell you about imagine the earth splitting like a cell, because how do you think we get all these damn dimensions? We've done this so many times. I'm so, oh, just pay attention. Everything is energy. And when we want to start thinking about go down to the cellular level, because that's the science that most people can meet you at. So everybody knows that's the science that most people can meet you at. When you want to start actually talking about energy and change, they understand cells. Anything else, and this is not because people can't, it's because that's the level, at least here in America, that they teach you to. So, to meet everybody where they're at, to explain yourself to others, to explain what you do understand and know, you got to find out where they're at. And that is the majority, at least in the States. So, when we want to talk about ancient stories, universal stories mixed in with the metaphysics, the spirituality, what's happening with the pole shift, there are stories that people are not really aware of because they're not readily available in a lot of ways. The earth actually does split, and they call her kind of like the stepsister, which eventually does get blown up, right? And then this would be the new earth that people are talking about, but it's still the same earth that we walk on today. That we walk on today. And you can see that metaphysically, like it pulls into a whole new timeline, parallel world. I think the interesting thing when we start using this stuff is the terms. Timeline and parallel world, kind of two separate things, but yet a timeline can shift into a whole different dimensional parallel world. Dimensional is always consciousness. So everybody knows. I don't care what parallel universe, multiverse you're in, consciousness is always dimensioned. Always. So that yeah, it's been a long summer and yeah, I took a very big edible, everybody. Oh, this guy just said, "So babies come from starbursts." Babies do come from starbursts. Hear yourself, Scotty. Yeah, everybody hear Scotty boy. So he was being cute about where a baby's from. Here's a question. But then I'm talking about sunbursts and yada yada and all this jazz. And he comes in and says, "So babies come from starbursts?" Yes, because all the stars are beautiful little suns, SUNs, and that's who all of you are. Oh, and you were all a baby once. Oh, yay. Yes, Scotty. That's our new thing for tonight. Scotty nailed the night. Happy Saturday, everybody. Babies come from starbursts. Ah, I love it. That needs to be a bumper sticker. Go for it. Somebody make a bumper sticker. Take it. Do it. Awesome. And Scotty, boy gets all the credit. You did great there, son. That was great. Okay, so oh, happy hippie. God, I'm gonna have to do this whole glasses thing. And then everybody's saying, "Yeah, it's definitely showing that I'm, feeling the edibles." Robin asked, "Is this split like what Dolores Cannon talked about, splitting into 3D to 5D?" Yes, yes, because it's gonna be the same as how Edgar's gonna walk us through it, right? Um, yes. Now, here's the one thing, and actually I don't mind. I actually like Dolores Cannon. She was able to articulate to a beautiful mass of people that it opened up so much. I don't like the business of Dolores Cannon. That's my only objection. It's a very interesting business. So, but she also, the way she went about it and got her information is different than I. And that's also why I go with Edgar more so. It is that for us, like how I've been saying for, I don't know, 3 years now, for us to walk through the pole shift, the great awakening, the, new earth, for us to kinda walk through smoother, maybe even flow with it opposed to against it, right? We to have us walk through smoother, that takes a conscious dimensional living, a conscious level. So when you are hearing people talk about shifting from three to fifth, because fourth dimension is just that battle in between. And that battle in between is rectified when you start choosing yourself. You don't have to fight, you just choose yourself. So, because yourself, the authentic of you, you baby starburst, is love. It is love. That's that's who you are. That's who you are. All that other stuff is game board. It's just game board. So when you actually do choose yourself, which in doing so is choosing love and then experiencing it, that helps to shift from and birth that new earth, walk through the pole shift without massive catastrophic floods, fires, what have you. We can do it because then that means our vibration is literally up. It's literally up. You're not going to be able to get your vibes up without it being a conscious level. The reason why dancing, singing, painting, doing anything that can free your mind of the complexities of 3D is a valuable tool for getting your vibes up. That does not necessarily sustain an actual higher level of consciousness. So, yes, when Dolores Cannon would talk about moving from 3D to 5, that entire um, process also includes the pole shift, includes the birthing of the new earth, includes the great awakening, includes and to the great scale of those things, right? To the great scale of all the potentialities of those, the great scale of that. The majority, and this is the key, this is the one thing that if we could wrap our heads around this one right now, this would be beautiful. The majority can't see the opportunities. The majority cannot imagine there's opportunities, which is holding us down into the lack of sight, the lack of awareness, insight, right? It's that's what's going on right now. We're still at the majority. So the more that all the beautiful starbursts can actually just hold for themselves hope, love, faith in something, that can actually shift more because the same amount of potentialities that this beautiful, lush, green, water-filled, beautiful humanity, earth that w was the first intention, first thought, then if all the beautiful stuff with that people cannot imagine, please hear that. The majority cannot imagine that, and this is all an illusion. When if the majority can just peek on the other side, just see enough, right? To choose themselves. Then systems can change. Systems of 3 into 5 can be much smoother. But we need more hope. Hope is imagination. It truly is. It's the most amazing creative tool of changing ourselves, the matrix, what have you. Walking through the pole shift, knowing exactly how to help ourselves and our fellow man. We can do all this, but it does take the imagination of hope. And so, okay, everybody, go share that. Go share that, please. Go share. Everybody gets a patty cake. Yeah. Go share that. Go share that. That's all that's needed. That's all that's needed. And this is why the Christ consciousness would say shit like, you don't even have faith of a mustard seed. Now let's reverse that. Think about what he really said. Most things, here's a key tip, footnote, when you read ancient stories or scripture or scriptures of any kind, right? When you start reading this stuff, oftentimes reverse what the master said. Reverse what the master said, and there is what he is truly saying. As in, oh, Peter, if you only had a mustard seed of hope. Take that in as in, holy shit, he just said it only takes a mustard seed. Take that in, like reverse as in how small that is to make just to open to Christ wasn't trying to teach them five, guys. Christ was not teaching at fifth dimensional consciousness living. He was teaching, he was he was in conscious body of form in seventh dimensional living, teaching from 9. Please understand that. Christ consciousness that came to this earth because the earth eventually had to scream to the universe because humans were not listening to send Christ consciousness into a human body of form to then live a life to be a master who was raised by the scene. That is where you get actually the Nagamati scriptures. That is the scene. That gives a very different kind of context to what other scriptures will put out there. But even yet and still, that consciousness, the Christ consciousness, because I hear this a lot, man. I hear people talking about 5D. I hear people talking about the Christ consciousness. I hear people talking about all sorts of stuff. Beautiful. Keep it up. Keep it up because it might just take that one meme to help somebody. So keep it up. Awesome. But for this channel here, please do understand that Christ consciousness is not 5D. Sorry, it is not 5D. And so when Robin asks me about Dolores Cannon, they promote that so much when I believe that business knows differently. So, Christ consciousness came into a body of form. It lived in this body of form, did all the actions, did all the magic people are looking for, all of the healing, all of the miracles. He did that in this body and form with only 7D consciousness, right? His teachings, though, somehow, his real teachings, which I actually am thinking about, I might do this one day. Um, his actual teachings are ninth dimensional stuff. And it is so unfortunate that he goes, damn it, if they only understood it took a mustard seed. Shit, man. Think about that. It's because he had to cycle through all he cycled through a bunch of crap too. The great thing though is that he had masters of the old, of the ones who remember that their people actually lived at what we call the North Pole, what we call the North Axis, that started there. The scene come from that, and they did not lose their stories. It just got very complicated because of man, and now a lot of the scene stories are mixed in through the Torah, the Quran, and the New Testament. And then you gotta add on top of those the Nag Hammadi scriptures, and then you also gotta do a good portion of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Buddha was on his own tip. I loved him. He was like, "Y'all can do whatever you need to do over there." But the original Buddha, though, is a different story. That's a much different story than all the different Buddhas over time, which and depending on which one you're referring to, right? It doesn't matter really, because even holding that in what was one of the best things about that religion when it was forming was that setting it up that, hey, a master needs to come back every time. Every time. It's as if because that religion focuses so much on the human suffering that they really understood, mm-mm, you can't leave for that long. You can't we can't recover. We're not gonna repair ourselves. Um, so keep sending one. Keep sending one. So even if it's not always the same as many people question that, right? Is it the same consciousness, the same entity, what have you, whatever people want to say, spirit, soul? I, there's a lot of terms. I don't think it matters as much as to the point of having a teacher that people will listen to come back every time, right? And one that we will know if he's in alignment with the traditional teachings and life, or if man has corrupted, right? I think just having that is a good thing. I really do, because it's not like any of their ancient wisdom was, um, wrong in any way. It's beautiful. Every school of thought, every theory, every story, every starburst, it's it's kind of what we make of it, you know? It's what we make of it. Scotty, who are you telling to get oh, shit, I missed a lot in this chat, man, hold on. I hope you guys are having a good time. I really do. Yeah, I'm reading, guys. Um, oh, everybody's just having a good time. Chicken, chicken. Nice. Everybody's having chicken for dinner. This is great. Um, geez. So that was me answering Robin's Dolores Cannon question. Oh, that's too funny. Oh, Scotty boy, you're sweet. Thank you. He's talking to the chickens court. Okay, gotcha. And if I'll take one more question. I'm looking at the clock. I'll take one more question. It can be anything. Um, I wanna make sure I've finished up with all the questions that came through, though. Wow, that rant I just did, I to answer Robin's question, yeah, if you need to, go back and listen to that, please. Um, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. That is what in my own personal opinion, is that is why we keep witnessing what we witness in the third dimensional consciousness living, is more of a continuous of the same old human behaviors since all the time. This is not anything new. Um, why we keep witnessing more of that opposed to compassion, you know, help, that kind of thing, service, what have you. Um, I really think it's because of the lack of hope. Hope is actually a sight. It's not it's your entire senses. It's your entire senses. When you're in authentic hope, you can taste it, you can feel it, you can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it in all of your being. And that is how you manifest. That is how you create. And so we could definitely do this. That is how you actually walk on water. That's a whole different topic on how to use it. But yeah, he was just teaching tools, man. But tools of the essence of who we are, not tools to submit and, you know, uh, conform and apply all of the 3D principles, because that's fucking insane. Um, to not do that, Christ consciousness, along with Buddha was more, uh, every teacher teaches or focuses on something. Christ, it was hope and love. It really was. I mean, there was a lot of other things he spoke about, but it really was hope and love. Buddha, it was more of the presence, to be in your presence. That's where most people are headed when they study that, to be in their presence, right? Which is beautiful, because as the now, and in the now is where all your senses are alive, and due to that, you manifest anyways. So they're all teaching how you are a beautiful sunburst star of creation, have the power to create yourself. It's just the angle that is taken, and then thousands of years of manipulation. That's why we're not doing it. That's why we're not where we so potentially could be. That's why, in my humble opinion. You know? Okay, people are still talking about chicken in the chat, I gotta say. Chicken does sound good now. Oh, and Shelly's chickens wanna be fed. Okay, okay, you gotta do that. You gotta feed them. Yep, you gotta feed them. What is happening in the chat? I'm so, I gotta stay out of chat. There is no more questions, or is there one more question, people? Oh my goodness. Y'all are having too much fun. I can't even follow. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna hold up a card because I did pull this card. Oh my goodness. Oh, I should turn the light up for you. I didn't even pull this card. As I started this live stream, this card is what jumped out from the Sacred Geometry deck. So, and you've seen it before, but really, I'm going to try to angle this correctly. Take in this sacred geometry, especially the patrons of Stars of the Morning Light. If you are listening, we're headed into how to use the geometry. So if you come to the Zoom gathering tomorrow, of our quarterly let's check in with everybody. Beloveds, we're going to be heading into geometry. So if you have questions, and I'm really only talking to the patrons of Stars of Morning Light right now, sorry, on this live stream, you got to come with your questions about all his energy tomorrow because once we get into the geometry, that is a whole different ball game. So, but in those classes, I am only asking for you to believe that that's a possibility, that all is energy, because that's all we need to start crack-a-lacking on the sacred geometry, right? Number 38, remembrance. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in body, providing us with the valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. I'm going to hold this up. Remembrance, remembrance, remembrance. Yeah, look at that. Holy cow. Look at that. Mm. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. That's beautiful. That's lovely. Scotty Boy said, "I'm not in class, but you could talk about it in lives after." Yeah, you know what, Scotty? I could. Um, Man, see, this is when I go, I need somebody's memory. Somebody share that little bit of your memory with reminding me that Scotty said to do that. To hey, after I teach it on Patreon, I can share it. You know what, Scotty? I think I have shared a couple of past classes a bit more not so much classes, but like great shares from Patreon. So I can maybe do that. Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, yes, Scotty, boy, that's a great deck. The Activations Oracle deck of Sacred Geometry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, that's great. Oh, Shelly pulled a card from the same deck of Sacred Geometry, and she got number 35, Perception. Yeah. Well, perception is actually everything, but when we think about perception, take in what that really represents. Sorry, this is going to be a footnote. Take in what that really actually represents. What can if I said write a list of everything, as we just read from the remembrance card, everything that you can remember that has made you you, that has made you you in your current state of this in this body of form, whatever your consciousness is of right now, of this life. Think of if I said write a list, uh, it'd be impossible. It'd be impossible. So the reason why remembrance is so important, I mean, truly, is because if you can develop habits of remembering, habits of tapping into your subconscious, habits of past life. I still also have to reach out to Mr. Floyd's universe and send Josh an email because he wants to learn how to do past life regressions. Oh, Josh, if you ever listen to this, beloved, you definitely can do it. And yeah, you just need uh, hell, just even an email of tricks of the trade. And I give those out freely. So If we use our remembrance, if we use our remembrance, that is the biggest thing we have to be. And I know I did go off on a tangent about Josh. Just checking. Oh, Grandpa B came in. Good to see you. Grandpa Brian 420. Good to see you. Um, that's the biggest thing that we can do. This is the biggest tool for us to actually learn how to step out of 3D into 5D, how to obtain more hope. So if I had you write a list of all the things that shape who you are, that create the experiences, that create the perceptions, what in me invites this to be? If your perception then is your reality, then what do you think you actually have to look at? Do you have to look at what is before you, or do you have to look at and thoroughly look at all of the past remembrance, which many people do? Many people live in the past. The difference is they don't choose to do something differently. So then, let's say you go inward to go outward, to go further upward, and you're trying to use your remembrance. There are many tools that you can use this for. And your remembrance will then, the more you can look at the past, write and look at that list in your mind and go, holy shit, this this game is absolutely nothing. This game is absolutely nothing. Then the hope can come in. You can see a whole new game board. Poof, new world, because you're a starburst. If you hadn't been here the whole show, that wouldn't have made any sense. But I'm hoping some people watch this from the beginning. Guys, seriously, because this has been a conversation I've had with people. The 3D game board, it is an illusion. It's based on your perception, but it's not just on your perception of like this life. All your other lives influence this life. That is why Josh and others and people out there are so interested in their past lives. That's why when I put a poll out there for the Edgar Casey series, everybody chose for me to talk about reincarnation first, right? Everybody wants to know what happened. It's in the stories. It's in the stories. We know what happened. Because if it happened over here and happened over here and happened over here and happened over here, it happened to you. At some point, it happened to you. That's all we gotta recognize. That's all we gotta acknowledge. And then we gotta go, you know what? Forgive us, for we know not what we do. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Love them, for they know not what they do. We use remembrance, and one of the biggest tools is all the stories. All the stories. And you don't have to get you can get stories in so many different ways. But if it happened there, if it happened when, ever, it's happened many different times. It might have different shapes and colors and sizes and whatnot, dimensions, but it's all happened to you as well. So read the stories. If you can't remember all of your past lives, that's okay. Acknowledge that that has shaped your perception. If a story is out there, that means it helped you shape who you are today, right? When I say stories, I mean all the peoples, all the things that have ever happened. But when we can acknowledge that, forgive all of that, whoa, whoa, all of the hope that can flood in, which is the new imagination of creation of a new earth, right? It's not just compassion. Compassion is fifth dimensional living experience. It's beautiful. Um, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And all the beautiful light workers out there, it's been rough. It's been rough. It's been rough. Take a pause and a breather for yourself. Breathe. Exhale with a smile. Matters more if you exhale with a smile than it does however long you hold your breath or count your breath or da da da. If you're not, if it matters more to exhale with a smile. So, because you're still going to be breathing, but a smile and an exhale is an amazing power. Hell, you can just use that all the time. And then if you use it all the time, it helps the energy of the earth and all the other people. You just imagine if you all day, every time, imagine, just please imagine, because I actually took my teacher's suggestion and fucking did it. All these stubborn humans walking around. I understand. I was one of them. I finally took my teacher's suggestion for 1 day straight. Every time I exhaled out, I smiled. Every time. That is fucking rewiring your brain fast, folks. Get that shit out. We don't need that. Why? Because we acknowledged it. Everybody, we can choose differently. Bam, I'm gonna choose, I'm gonna cut them cords, cut all that shit, cut, cut, cut. New. And then in every breath, smile. Smile. There you go. Whole new living experience because you don't even need the drugs. Like, trust me. I only have edibles twice a month? Yeah, why? Because this is actually my permanent state. Except if light workers have been working really and I mean the true light workers. Come on all. Come on. They've been working real hard. The energies of 2025, one of the biggest transitional years we could have as humans. The choices we make now, there's only one truly for the majority to make, yourself. Anyways, that the energies have led into, I know light workers are at they ain't even got fumes. I don't know what light true light workers. Um uh uh, which is this is not in judgment, but there's a lot of terms out there that have been overemphasized, and unfortunately there's terms out there that then when they become overemphasized and very much influenced into a culture, a lot of people who are not that will think that they're that and they will try to do that, and it actually leads to more harm than good. As in, a light worker is exactly that. They have a bunch of light. A worker in the light is not going to have a little bit of light. If you are born that, if you have a little bit of light and you're on a short fuse all the time, or your mental health is not well, right? It's maybe a permanent state of not well. You're not a worker. You're not a light worker. You're light though. And that light is actually there to remind you to choose you. But we live in this flippy floppy world, right? The flippy floppy world that when that pole shift does happen, we can walk through it much smoother if we get ourselves out of the flippy floppy, right? I call the pole shift the flippy floppy because we live in a flippy floppy world. And that's all we got to do is we got to flip. We got to just flip the game board. Boom, flip it, right? If we do that, which the light workers are actually here to help with that, and they're here only for others to witness, right? Only really for others to witness. Those with light, well, that's the majority. They're beautiful. They're great. They are the sunbursts. They are the most magical stars. But that's not necessarily the work that they're supposed to do other than for themselves. Because then their light grows and grows and grows. So that's why when words start to be overused, it does lead to danger because those beautiful stars, those beautiful lights, it is more for them to glow than uh, stream out. A worker is a stream of light. It's not a glow. That's the best way I can probably put it as far as all is energy. A worker is a constant stream. A beautiful light glows. And what do you need to for in the dark? In the darkest of times, in the 3D consciousness of fog and forgetfulness, what do you need more? A candle with you? Yeah, yeah. So all those beautiful lights, they need to learn how to shine. That's what is really needed. Unfortunately, though, when the propaganda has been taken into a new age era, light worker has become a hashtag. And there's a lot of people who are only supposed to glow that then burn themselves wholeheartedly, right? They burn themselves that way down to nothing. And then it takes a long time for those beautiful lights to start shining again. So imagine that. Like we're living at a precipice of such impact to the world based on our choices that because of the propaganda of all things in the third dimensional consciousness living, that teeter-totter and fourth, because fourth is that back and forth kind of battle. That is the fourth dimension, by the way. That is that internal battle, right? And but that's what the fear and the propaganda feed it. But that is has infiltrated all things of 3D. So 3D is very colorful, very alive, very electric, right? So it knows how to just, you know, skew a term for a moment, make it a hashtag, make it this, make it that. That will completely rearrange, uh, distort the authentic meaning of that word. And that has been going on for 100 years now, since the spiritualist movement. That is when it really landed on the game board again, and those who kinda run the game board understood that that was never really gonna go away, so, um, that is why we do the Edgar Casey Life Skill Series to bring 100 years forward, and maybe I should do that for vocabulary and teach people about that, of that time period during the Edgar Casey stuff, as in w- what went down through the spiritualist movement and how that has impacted 100 years forward, just in history, because that is a part of our remembrance. As in, if it happened then, if it happened when, if it happened to whomever, it also happened to you. Remember, remember. So maybe I'll do that. Anyways, I think that was a pretty good, decent show. I do thank for everybody coming. Seeker, always gracious to you, my dear. Scotty Boy, a happy hippie Robin, Lori, Grandpa Brian. I know Neil was in the background. Yeah, thanks everybody for Chloe, who hopefully Chloe's sleeping. Hopefully, yes. So I remember, as Scotty Boy pointed out to us, everybody, you're a beautiful starburst. You're a beautiful starburst. I love that. I love that. Yes, if we can hopefully see ourselves just as great as the sun, less UN, less ON, doesn't matter to me. Um, if we can start viewing ourselves that way, maybe I should start calling everybody sunbursts. That'd be great. I would settle for a star though. Like everybody, if everybody could see themselves as those beautiful lights as I do. And it's so sad when you see one burn out. It's so sad because you never know how long it's gonna take, you know? You never know. So that's sad. That's sad. But hopefully this show can remind everybody it takes just choosing you, just choosing, hand to heart, exhale with a smile, please, and just choose you to get that fire going again, that burst. Oh, Sunburst family, hells yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love you guys too. Thanks for coming. Yeah, thanks. People did give me good reviews when I started this a while back, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of you. Please leave a comment because I do read those, and it does let me know. And I've learned a lot of things from comments, so that's great. Thank you. Oh, a happy hippie Robin said, I'm starburst, calm and endearing. Oh, yes. Everybody, look at some images of a star. Look at some images of a star tonight. Enjoy yourself and say, wow, you are as I am as you are. That would be great. That'd be wonderful. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for coming, everybody. Cheers. Have a good weekend. And and next Saturday is the second episode, the first episode, what have you, of Matrix Living. So be here next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks, everybody. Cheers, fam. Yes, Starburst fam. Oh, bye, guys.